Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to TGP Today. This is our very first show, and we are so glad you could be here with us. Today's show touches on the most important subject of all Triskelions, the topic of leadership. I have three brothers with me right now. Tol Ray from Airlink chapter from Pasay City. Tol Adam from Tarlac State University, Mabuhay chapter. Tol Edison from Rainbow Los Pinos chapter from Los Pinos City. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Leadership is what keeps countries, states, provinces, cities, towns, organizations, and especially fraternities afloat and strong. Without leadership and strength of mind, things quickly fall apart, faster than you can put them together. Our fraternity has great leaders and will of strength. Our leaders are men and women with one great goal: to help others in need and to help one another when the help is needed. But it takes leadership to guide us in the right direction. I will be asking these great brothers what they think about leadership. But first, let's find out a little bit about them and their leadership, or if they would rather be led. Tol Ray, can you introduce yourself, please?
2016, I was elected vice president external. In 2019, that's the time I was elected as a chairman for ITBC.
Tol Adam, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Actually, I am a former Grand Triskelion in Tarlac State University. It was year 2006, 2007 when I used to be the Grand Triskelion. During that time, there were no provincial chapters yet formed in our province. So in year 2008, if I'm not mistaken, we were eight Triskelion brothers who decided to form a provincial council. It was around that year we copied what Nueva Ecija did with their province. So we asked some support from our brothers from Nueva Ecija in Region 3 to help us to form the provincial council. My co shall I say, those other Grand Triskelions who handled Tarlac State University witnessed formation of Tarlac Provincial Council. Luckily, I got a chance to form this provincial council. It ran very smooth until now. It's very progressive. A lot of development and improvement on the province. And also, I used to help them, although I am not enforcer, I used to help the province to form their Triskelion Law Enforcement Group, which is popularly known as Tri-Leg now. It was September 22, 2017, when we formed that group. I initiated the idea of forming the group. I asked all the brothers from law enforcement to gather in one place and decide who will be the officers to handle the organization. Because me, I myself is not qualified because I'm not a law enforcer. So I just help them, ask brothers from abroad to help us form this group, and eventually now there are more than 200 of brothers in of law enforcers in Tarlac. They are really organized and solid, brother.
Tol Edison, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself also?
I am just merely a member because that is a big responsibility.
Absolutely. Leadership is definitely a responsibility. Gentlemen, the question that I think everybody really wants to know from you is this: what is leadership? And while you're here, Edison, tell me what you think leadership is.
For me, leadership it's about serving people. I came from a era where before the leadership is a one-way street. It's like a dictatorship. But right now, as I come to like experience, leadership is all about getting people inspired, getting them into what is your goal line or your purpose to be aligned with you, to lead them and serving them. Mostly right now for me, leadership is serving.
How's about you, Adam? What do you think?
For me, being a leader, brother, you should be a good example. It's not all about giving command, giving orders to all your members. You should be the one who show the initiative in order for your members to copy, mirror what you're doing. Eventually, these members should be the future leader, we can say. That's how I interpret the leadership, being a good example to your members.
Okay, Ray, what do you think?
Leadership. Well, for me, leadership actually is a way of guiding, supervising, or in Tagalog, probably paggabay. Paggabay sa mga nasasakupan. So, for you to be a leader, you need to be a servant first. Because that's the time you'll be sensitive of the things that your people need. If you don't know how to serve people, it's hard to be a leader.
Ray, I absolutely agree with you about that you have to learn how to serve first before you can lead. Absolutely, because how else will you know how to lead if you don't know how to serve first? All right, gentlemen, the next question I would like to ask you, and this is very important. Let's start with you, Ray. What should a leader avoid?
What should a leader avoid in leading? Siguro yung being biased, I guess, on one side. Because we need to be fair. We need to be fair about some areas and some stuff na hindi dapat pwedeng merong matapakan. Because that would cause misunderstanding. So I believe that a leader should be fair.
So, Edison, what do you think a leader should avoid?
He must avoid biases, but sometimes it's very tough to be a leader. You have to separate. I'm just comparing it as a corporate for me. You have to separate like your emotion. Sometimes you have to make a tough decision to make this person like your shepherd better. I call it shepherd. It's like a shepherding, to be tough. You have a tough love, because leadership is all about shepherding.
Yeah, I totally get it. You have to be like a shepherd and lead your flock. Adam, what do you think a leader should avoid?
One thing that you should avoid is having this violation of our tenets and codes of conduct. Number one rule, if you violated any of these tenets and codes of conduct, that means you are being a bad example to your member. Remember, when you are or when you're wearing our frat shirt, you will be an ambassador of all Triskelion. That means you're not just bringing yourself, you're bringing the entire organization. So whenever you act, whenever you speak, always think that you are not violating any of these tenets and codes of conduct. In that way, you will be a good example in everybody. They will also realize, oh, this is how good the Triskelion are. Because I've been thinking a lot of things about these tenets and codes of conduct. I didn't see any mistake on it because these founders are really genius, especially Tatay Roy, Talek Pablo, Tito Benida, and Jean Confessor. They are really extremely genius. Maybe that's the reason why they finished the political science course, right? Because they became lawyers. They are really genius. I admire them a lot. I always apply my tenets and codes of conduct every day.
Our topic today is leadership, and with us is Ray from Airlink Chapter from Pasay City. He is here in the studio with us. And on Messenger, we have Tol Adam from Tarlac State University, Mabuhay Chapter. And also on Messenger, we have Tol Edison from Rainbow Las Piñas Chapter from Las Piñas City. Thank you, gentlemen. My next question to you, of course, this is a a very important question, and I think this would be the most important question of any question to ask. But what should a leader strive for? Tell us what you think, Dolre.
That's a good question because being a leader, you want everybody to be successful with their life, with their career, with their family. That's why sa atin, on our own org, we prioritize our family, our career, and our brotherhood. So all of us can be successful kung lahat magtutulungan.
So, Tol Adam, what should a leader strive for?
Should strive for making the organization grow and uplift the name of the organization. Because being the leader of this organization, let's say, for example, you are a Grand Triskelion, you are a chairman of a municipal council, you are a governor general of a province, you are a general secretary on a regional council, you are a premier on a certain country. So the leader should strive for lifting the name of the Tau Gamma Pi. Always remember that. So what you have to do, always the name of our fraternity first. I'm encouraging everybody, to all brothers and sis, please uplift the name of the Tau Gamma Pi. I sincerely asking a favor to all brothers and sis.
Tol Edison, same question. What should a leader strive for?
First of all, he has to strive to be better for himself, so other will follow him. He has to develop himself first, because if not, nobody's gonna follow you. You have to be better for yourself. Do what is right.
This next question has been an ongoing debate, not only for Triskelions or even philosophers for that matter. And some Triskelions I have met are definitely philosophers. But I would say anyone who has been a leader or has watched the beginning of a great political leader's career, have they ever wondered, are leaders made or are they born? Tol Edison?
For me, it's a gray line. It can be taught, but more on an experience. So I might say a little bit of both.
What do you think, Tolre?
Actually, it could be both. I believe it could be both. Yes, there are people that are born to be a leader, and there are also people that are made. There are leaders that are made. Why did I say that? There are some people na they have the leadership in their self, even their stance, the way they talk, they sounded like a good leader. But then there are also leaders that can be made. That in that case, if that leader can be made, they are made because of experience. So yeah, I think it can be both.
Do you agree, Tol Adam?
For me, leaders are made because you are not born to be a leader. In order for you to become a leader, you must be a good follower first. That's why I believe that leaders are being made. You cannot just you pop up on this world and then you say, "Oh, I'm the leader here in this group or in this society." In order for you to become a leader, you need to start down from the bottom. Okay, so you know how to follow your orders. You learn from the bottom until you reach the top. People will make you their leader. It's not you will decide that you will lead these people because it's different if you were born as a leader and they made you a leader. For me, more important and it's more impressive if I've seen you from the bottom going gradually on the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching somebody succeed, earn that respect, grow in front of us, and just inspiring us is how I think a leader should go, the direction that a leader should go. I mean, not just like you said, not just, you all said, not just, throwing out orders and so forth, but being able to inspire. The next question I want to ask is, do you think anyone can lead? Let's start with you, Tol Edison. What do you think?
No. There are a person who likes to follow, and there are a person who likes to lead. There's a person who can be both, but person to be a leader is something. It's a bigger responsibility. Not everybody can be a leader.
Okay. What do you think, Tol Ray?
Definitely. Yes, definitely. Anybody can be a leader. Nasa tao na lang din yan kung gusto niya rin maging leader, but yes, definitely anybody can be a leader.
Okay. Tol Adam, what is your opinion on this?
It depends, brother, because there are people here who really wants to become a leader, but we have different personality. Like you, we have differences. Like I would say, you are good in this kind of. You are handsome, so you could be a celebrity, but you could not be a leader. For me, God will not give you everything. He will give you something else that others may not have. Like you have the money, you have the looks, and me, I have this shall I say, I am so generous, or I am so industrious. So those are qualities. I'll share to you something, Tol. When I spoke with Tatay Roy before, he said something about we have these three dynamic forces: fortis, voluntas, and fraternitas. Let's just focus with what the fortis said. When we say fortis, I believe before that fortis is just, oh, fortis, fortitude of strength. So you have to be strong just to be qualified for Tau Gamma P. And then he said, you know what fortis really means? Fortis, you have a potential. You have this potential. Maybe you are so nice, okay? Maybe you are industrious. Maybe you are a loving son. Maybe you are so intelligent. God will not give you everything. But Tau Gamma Phi found something unique in you. That's the reason why they accepted you. So always remember that, brother. That's what he said. For me, not everything can be a leader. You may be good looking person, but you may not be a leader on this group.
So, Edison, right now, you're just a member, you said, of Tau Gamma Phi, but you have led before, correct?
Yes, in a corporate setting. And like I did have like a bad and a good leader. For me, you have to know like what kind of a leader you are, what do you want to be. I led a group of sales before, and right now I'm in a corporate council. That's some kind of a leadership also. I have like so much responsibility, but before, like in a corporate setting, yeah, I have lead so many people.
What kind of leadership style did did you use?
My style of leadership is a two-way street. I am not a dictator type. I like to learn from my subordinate, and of course, they're learning from me. So it's a two-way street. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit it if I'm wrong. You have to set a limit, like for yourself and for so that the expectation is not that high. And also, I'm an open leader, so you can tell me everything, right or wrong or whatever, because I believe that by saying that and by honesty, and you will all learn, and then you can avoid mistake. If mistake happen, of course, everybody have a solution as a team.
Is it hard to admit that you've made a mistake?
That's a good question because before it's hard for me to admit that I'm wrong. But of course, from time, maturity, just have to take away your pride. Then you can level with them. Then you can loosen up. Then they will help you. If you admit it like you're wrong, have a solution. Because I'm a leader of like, I don't want to hear a problem. I want to hear a solution.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that because I will tell people, look, I don't want to hear what the problem is. I want to hear what the solution is. That's the way I run.
Yes.
So we keep everything positive, and if that way people focus on solving it, then it's putting energy into a good place. But if people just sit there and worry about it, then they shut down and they
Yes.
don't perform the way they need to. So absolutely, I totally agree with you.
Because I remember a boss of mine told me like 99% of like you're worrying about and the problem, it doesn't happen yet.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
so the problem like you're worrying about, it doesn't happen or happen. Like the 99% is like the negative. So look at this as a positive way. Just
Abs-
turn it around.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely,
you have to find a solution for it.
absolutely. I totally agree with you. So, Ray, you've led before, and you've told me in the past it wasn't so easy. It was a bit of a challenge.
Yes, I have led before. It's challenging. It is challenging. Leading how many heads of people, there is no perfect leadership, I believe. I think it is really a challenging part, but with the help as well of people who supports you, everything's gonna run smooth and easy. Think it is challenging and masaya rin naman siya. Masaya rin siya. There's a feeling na once you overcome a problem or something and nasolusyonan siya, ang sarap sa pakiramdam, especially if you were able to help your fellow brothers and sisters.
Tol Adam, tell us about where you've led before.
Yes, yes. In fact, I used to lead all the Triskelion alumni organization in Tarlac City. I was a vice president before of alumni organization in Tarlac City. The president during that time decided to, or I would say, if he was elected as Governor General of Tarlac City. He was Senior Police Officer Christopher Soriano. He's part of the Triskelion Law Enforcers Group and told me to be in charge on all the alumni during that time. And also, way back in during my college time, I used to be a Grand Triskelion as well.
So, Tol Adam, everything worked out for you.
Everything worked out okay because all the alumni and all the members of Tau Gamma Pi and Tau Gamma Sigma in Tarlac City are cool. They are really supportive.
You said once you were a manager.
I was a manager in Pepsi Philippines before during that time, and I used to balance my work and being as a leader in Tau Gamma Pi. It was a challenging position, but I used to manage it.
How did you manage it all?
I used to manage it through the help of our brothers. I've seen how they work. They don't treat themselves as a regular member only. Everybody do their part. Whenever I say, "Can you help this, Brad? We will conduct rescue operation on this area." They easily comply because this technology help us. Like the way do this conversation, it's so easy to communicate because of this social media now. It helped us a lot. It was year 2017 to 2018 when I used to become acting president of alumni organization Tarlac City.
You know, sometimes life throws you a curveball, and there are people in a position of power that should not be there at all because they're not meant to lead and they're going to do a terrible job, but nobody really thinks about that. So, how do you think people like that come into power? Let's start with you, Ray, and then Edison, and then Adam.
Okay, in my opinion, how they get there? There are a few things that I'm thinking. One is it could be they are famous, they're influential, or sometimes it's also politics. Oh, I know this guy. Even though he doesn't have any experience at all, I know this guy. Magaling to, magaling to. But then, pagka nandyan na, hindi pala because there's only just a word of mouth. Oh, kilala niya kasi. Somebody knows him. Someone was just, someone just endorsed him. but doesn't really know how to do the job.
The people that I know that who is in power that supposed to be not there, they step on somebody. It's unavoidable that you gonna step on somebody's shoes
Uh,
before you can be on top.
what's your advice on avoiding a situation like that?
When you're in the position of a leader, you have to know your priority first. I'm a religious person, so I'm gonna let like for me, just follow God for me, do good, like motto in leadership.
Tough question, bro. Well, in politics, we understand that that's how it works. Some deserving people may be put in power. Some, I would say, undeserving ones should be in power because there are a lot of factors we consider in being or in electing a leader. Some may have this money, some may have the people, and some may have the influence. So for me, those three affect this election process. These people who are, I would say, deserve to be in this position, the reason why they get that position is because they are being loved. People speaks for that person, so they put them in power. Others may be in the position because they have the money. They can influence others by donating something or giving this kind of monetary things in with this group, and then suddenly they will lift you up.
Every great leader in this world has always had a hero that they looked to that was also a great leader or an influencer or someone who has changed the world in some way, who's made a difference in the world. So the first question I'm going to ask, and this is to you, Ray, who is a leader you admire? And then Adam, I'd like to know who the leader is that you admire, and then Edison. Okay, Tols, Manga Tols, tell me what you think.
I admire King David from the Bible. Why? I grew up in a Christian family. So, knowing the story about him, galing sa Bible, ano siya talaga? Talagang siya yung kinakausap ni Lord eh. The way he leads his people is really inspiring kasi lahat talaga nakikinig sa kanya. And whatever that, yung ibigay sa kanyang task, na-execute niya ng mabuti.
I read a book before, brother. Mao Zedong, he's from China. He have a saying. I'm not sure if I got it correct. He said on one of his quote, "Suffer the people to make them strong."
For me, Bill Gates. I've read most of his book and I've watched some of his clips. He's a type of leader who walks the talk. This has fascinated me for a long time. Like most of the leaders that I've known, like reading books.
I've
That's why I
noticed.
kind of like,
I've noticed that
yeah.
too. Do you think uh, acquiring knowledge is the way to become a great leader?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. 100%.
What books do you recommend to read, or at least one or
uh,
two? One or two.
no, I could give you some. Read the Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort, and I have this book we called Power. That's a good book.
Okay.
Uh, I have it in my hand right now, actually,
And who's
by
that by?
Robert Greene.
Oh,
Power.
Robert Greene, The 40 Laws of Power.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, that's the one.
that is an absolutely freaking fantastic one. Rule number one: never outshine the king. So
Yes,
I
that's the
like that.
threat.
You and I think a lot alike here. So let's leave the last bit to Ray and to Adam. Guys, do you have any last words? Anything, Torres, that you want to share with all of us? Let's start with you, Ray, and then Adam, you're next. What do you think? Okay, here we go.
Being a leader is is not an easy task. You need someone that you can really rely on. Someone that really trusts you. Someone that will and can support you all the way. Because without those people, it's hard to execute a good leadership. Kasi there would actually and a loyalty as well. Loyalty. Because if these people are not loyal to you, there would come a time na they will turn their back on you. For me, I think kailangan maging sensitive. Being a leader is you also need to be sensitive with the needs of your people. You know, not just money, of course, but you need to be sensitive with the like how they feel. Sometimes when they feel down, what do you need to do? Of course, you need to inspire them.
One thing that I could really add right now, bro, is this is a message to all brothers and sisters all over the world. Please always remember the day you joined the Tau Gamma Pi and the Tau Gamma Sigma. Remember the time we committed that we will make the Tau Gamma Pi really stronger and we will do everything what it takes to serve our fraternity.
Thanks everyone for tuning into TGP Today. I'd like to thank Tol Ray from R-Link chapter from Pasay City, Tol Adam from Tarlac State University Mabuhay chapter, Tol Edison from Rainbow Las Piñas chapter from Las Piñas City. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your ideas and thoughts. We love to have you. Thank you so much. Everyone, have a great morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are in the world.